Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today I'm just doing NWOpening number 93, and today we are unboxing the WrestleMania Vegas 2025 series Bianca Belair WWE Elite from the Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure wave. Now this one should be a relatively quick one because honestly I'm not particularly interested in the figure at all. So Disaster Man, you're thinking, what's a tightwad like you doing buying action figures you're not actually interested in? Well, we are very much interested in this cheeky chappy down here. Been wanting a Howard Finkel action figure since I was a kid, and you know, this is the way that we're getting it. These Build-A-Figure pieces were reduced to £10 in Smiths, which I did a toy hunt on about a month ago, which you can check out if I remember to put it in the end screen. That being said, Bianca's not someone I'm disinterested in. It's just not someone I'm super interested in either. And with how much I actually film my Fed, it's very unlikely that she's going to appear in the women's division. But this is a pretty cool figure, and the packaging is really cool as well. We've of course got the WrestleMania Vegas logo. We've got this interesting kind of LED effect background as well with the picture of Bianca on the side. Interestingly, something I only just noticed when I was editing the last NWOpening is that it just says Howard Finkel and has a picture of Howard Finkel there, like a completely different action figure. It doesn't actually explain that it's a Build-A-Figure wave or anything like that. So outside looking in, this is just like, well, what is this doing here? Especially since you can't actually see the Build-A-Figure piece in there because it's behind the cardboard now. I mean, obviously we know what's going on, but outside looking in, it's like, what is this guy doing? So we've got the exact same picture of Bianca on the side, and then we have got Howard Finkel's head, pretty important part of the Build-A-Figure. We also have the Seth Rollins to unbox. The Hulk and Bret Hart, I waited a little bit too long, so I'm still going to have to source them from somewhere, but you know, it should still be relatively easy to find them. Box is a bit bashed up, but I went for the one with the best paint job, especially since the plan was just to unbox this, reduced to £10, and get my Howard Finkel piece out of it. So that being said, there's not really much point in waffling on too much about this one, so let's just get into the opening part. That's interesting. The ponytail is actually tagged in. Very interesting. What kind of posing were they going for in box, putting both of her elbows like this? Dearie me. I mean, knowing that Vietnam factory nowadays, they probably broke half the figures turning the arms around like that to put them in the box. I don't know. Mattel, what are we doing? So, initial impressions, so much of this figure feels like it wants to break immediately. These little bits of hair sticking off the front, they feel like they're going to break. Just looking at them, like, never mind a kid having this thing. Of course, we have the ponytail on the back, which theoretically should be harder to break than a regular ponytail with how thick it is and how it's specifically, you know, designed. But the end of the ponytail, look at how thin that is, like, and it doesn't feel super like it feels brittle. Like, it definitely feels like one day that's just going to come off, you know, that's going to be the end of it. In addition, I can't help but notice, playing with the ponytail, we've got that same head quality that we had with the Rock figure, in that we've got this very, very loose head. We also have these huge earrings, which also kind of look like they're just going to break off. This is not the kind of figure that you want a kid to have. However, on the face of it, it's a pretty interesting figure. And if you were just getting this to sit on a shelf, then it's going to do a pretty good job of that. Now, we've got a lot of details to look at here, so let's get into it. First of all, we have these glasses, which are, of course, a completely different shape to the ones on the box. Now, let's take a look at what the likeness of the face is like. It's actually pretty good behind the glasses, and the eyes are painted all right, which is always a good thing, because I spend long enough in Smiths trying to decide which one of the figures is the best painted without the eyes being covered up by the sunglasses. We've, of course, got the Raw Women's Championship here. First time I've ever owned one of these, and it is really nice, don't get me wrong. I just, in particular, we've got the side plates, the Bianca Belair side plates. Really nice touch, really, really cool, but kind of reduces the usability of the belt in a Fed. And also, additionally, like, I don't do Raw and SmackDown in my fed, so it's kind of useless to me anyway. I very much doubt there'll ever be 2 women's championships. Like, I guess I would maybe just use this as a women's championship, I guess. But again, without the side plates, I'd rather just stick with the old women's championship than that. But, you know, it's a nice white strap belt. Pretty cool. It's always nice to see the contrast between the gold plates and the white belt strap. On the chest, we have that Bianca Belair decal. It kind of looks like it's like the phone's struggling to focus in on it, but honestly, it just isn't that clear to begin with. Like, the B's, the holes in the B's and the A's just aren't cut out. They're just shapes, and honestly, it doesn't look super great. We have the red star around those and these gold lipstick marks as well, which look pretty cool. And we of course have these gold, I don't know, armbands, I guess, with the red stars on them. We've got some garters, EST knee pads, and gold boots, and anything on the back. Interesting kind of detailing, like interesting texture on the back of the, I don't know, what would you call this, on the back of the ring gear. One thing that I feel like this is falling down on compared to other Bianca figures is I'm sure the ponytail was articulated in other ones. I'm pretty sure this is detachable. It definitely looks detachable, but it also definitely doesn't move all that much. Like, that's just me bending it the other direction. So if that's supposed to be articulated, it isn't. So that's a -1 for the joint check right off the bat. In terms of accessories, we of course have the title belt. We of course have the Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure head, which is well painted, so very nice to see that. And we of course also have 2 pairs of interchangeable hands, which is really cool. And then we're just going to get into the joint check. So the head, as we discussed, lots of things you can break turning it, and it kind of does snap back. It stays where you put it, but it does kind of snap back, so you need to put it slightly further than you want it to be. Lots of little bits of hair to break, and even earrings and stuff on that as well. The shoulder, I mean, that is actually most of the movement, to be fair. Just doesn't look like much. Bicep, elbow is fine. Shoulder, yeah, they both of the shoulders work when it managed to get out the factory, having both of its arms turned around. We've got the torso joint. That's nice and stiff, actually. And that texture on the ring gear it's quite nice. It's something different to feel when you've got this many action figures. That leg's quite loose, so that's interesting. The knee actually moves, so it's better than the Rock on the last NWOpening. And it actually has a boot cut in the boots. It's better than the Rockers again. And the toe doesn't move. And the other leg, also quite loose. Knee moves. Boot cut. So on. And, oh, that toe does move. Interesting. You don't often get one. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got it moving in the end. Pretty cool. Again, I would be happy to keep this. And for the time being, I probably will. And then one day I'll probably just see it lying around and think, it's time to move you on. Let's get you listed. But, I mean, she could appear in the Fed if I get around to using her in something, which is very unlikely in the time before I actually sell her. Let's give her the belt back. Of course, it's not going to be worth anything to sell for a little while anyway, having just been reduced to a tenner in Smith's. But yeah, just because I'm not interested in it doesn't mean this isn't a cool figure. It's a pretty cool one. I think Bianca's probably had better ones, but, you know, it's pretty cool. And I would always get this one over any other, really, just purely for the Howard Finkel Build-A-Figure piece. That backing card is really cool. It's very vibrant. It's a bit much. It's a bit over the top. Struggling now to get it to hold the belt and stand up straight. There we go, try that. Ah, that'll do. And straight up the back of card. So, if you enjoyed this video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the NWOpenings playlist in the end screen for more, and I really do appreciate you guys joining me. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.